What would you do in the name of love? I just got off of another show, The Act, and we already know how that ended. Now, Whiskey Cavalier, Will, Frankie, Emma. What would you do for love? Stay tuned to find out.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Guys, welcome back to the Whiskey Cavalier After Show. I am one of your hosts, Linda Entry, and you know, if you have followed us in any of the weeks here, anything goes on this show. Welcome, guys. Hi, Monse. Welcome back.
Hi, thank you. I'm so glad to be back.
Oh, hi.
And it begins.
It's Janine.
It's Janine. And what are our AKs? I'm Bellini Bobby. I'm so impressed with myself right now. Like, I know it.
Yeah, you remembered it. This is the second week in a row you remembered it, too.
I did.
Yeah.
Out of 10, that's not bad.
I'm Dirty Midnight.
Oh, you got that one right, too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I am Tequila Rex. Hey, y'all.
Hey, welcome back, Tequila Rex.
Yeah.
Guys, Good Will Hunting, episode 10. What were your overall thoughts of this episode?
I loved it so much. I'm really into this dark side of Will, and I just thought it was so fun.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think it kind of answered a lot of the questions that maybe we've been having throughout the season.
Yep.
It kind of just it filled in all these gaps that we were having. So I really enjoyed it. And honestly, guys, like, I love Ray. I would forgive him if he would cheated on me.
Would you?
Wow.
I think so.
That's a bold statement.
He comes on the screen and I'm like a giddy girl. I'm just like, yes. And he's so.
But he's so dumb.
I know. No. Listen, I'm not proud of myself for liking him so much. But every time he comes on the screen, I thoroughly enjoy every scene he is in.
Okay, that's fair.
I wish I didn't, but you know, I do. I'm a huge Ray fan.
He does steal the scene every single time.
And it's with subtle stuff.
Yeah.
You could tell, like, he's, you know, comedy is a very difficult thing to succeed in because you could have the right lines, but it's your timing.
Yeah.
And he does it.
And delivery.
Mm-hmm. He does it so well, even if he's in the scene for 15 seconds or 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, I thoroughly enjoy him every time.
Monty's in love.
I am.
Heart.
I am.
I love the episode too. I really loved the big bad, and I loved that they tied up the loose ends, like you said. You know, we've talked a lot about during this season things not being really clear. Mm-hmm. And the last episode and this episode, I felt like, you know what? They're clear, they're concise, they're telling us exactly what's happening and following it through. And I think that that's important for any new show and any great show, especially one that, we love.
Yeah. Because then it's hard to stay on track. Or it's hard to, you have to keep the audience, like, wanting to come back week after week.
Yeah. Even
if it's just for one little detail. You know, we were talking about Grey's Anatomy, how, like, it's been on for so long, and yet people are still weekly waiting for that episode. That's tough to do.
Yeah.
And when you're pilot, it's even harder.
Yeah.
Because we have so many options as to what we can watch.
Mm-hmm. So many options. But you guys, whatever it is that you've done in the last couple episodes, keep doing it. Mm-hmm. You know, we know we've talked about this. We'll talk more about it in News and Gossip. But moving forward, like, let's reel everyone in, because it really is a good cast.
Yep.
And the concept is fun.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
What did we think opening segment? We have Will. We finally have Emma back, who's been MIA for like 3 weeks. And, they're getting down and dirty. What did you guys think of all that?
It was really cute because I didn't buy their relationship when we had her on screen before.
Yeah.
It just didn't feel like there was that much chemistry, but watching them sort of stumble out of the bedroom was actually believable. It was super fun. I was on board. I'm like, okay, signing back up. Let's see where this goes.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a really good way to sort of reintroduce her back into the series because she had been missed. Like, where was she?
Yeah. MIA.
I agree. I thought it was really cute, and it kind of made you, if you weren't already a fan of their relationship, that cute little scene, it made you, like, be like, aw, even if you don't like them and you didn't believe them, kind of like you in that moment, you were like, that's cute. That's adorable.
I needed that in the beginning.
100%.
I needed that so that I could be reeled into the relationship, because what did happen is I was like, oh, these two are adorable. And that is, like you said, believable. And now I'm in. So tell me more. Who are you, Emma? Mm-hmm. And then...
And now she's...
Right. And then so we find out, and we can, like... Well, let's not jump ahead quite yet. Okay. But I was like, you guys, really, this episode, you connected and now it's over? Okay. They go to Colombia. They're on this mission, and like Monse said, the side mission.
Right. The intro.
The intro mission. And it's about the Miranda cartel, and they're basically breaking out a guy out of prison. What did you think, one, of Jay's gadgets? And what did you think of the fight scenes between Frankie and Will and then like, the prison guards?
Well, the fight scene, I want to start there. The fight scene was super fun because that was back to that tit-tat relationship with Will and Frankie, which I didn't feel like we had as much last episode because she was so concerned about him the whole time. So that was really fun, and I'm glad that she won that tit-tat.
Yep.
Like, I don't know, choke out? Is
Yeah,
that what
She
you call
kind
it?
of always wins the fight scenes, though.
She does.
I think she's a better,
amazing.
she's a better fighter than him.
And I also, we were all sort of like, wait, what's happening? Where are we? Is this the mission this week? And then I realized that this is sort of how it goes every week.
Yeah.
That they kind of throw you in and then twist it later. So I just went along for the ride, and it was super.
Yeah, they tend to do that at the beginning, give you like a little quick adrenaline rush with a quick mission. But you know, honestly, like their choreography when it comes to any of their fights, it's so good.
Yeah.
It really is good. And we can see lots of fight scenes in other movies and other TV shows, and they do a really good job where we're not constantly questioning it.
Yeah.
You know, like occasionally we'll be like, really, did you just throw that knife?
Right.
Yes, we tend to do that. But
Monica.
shout out to Monica who's not here.
Right.
But in reality, we don't really do that. You know, when we're watching the episode, think about it. We're not really like, I didn't believe that fight.
Yeah.
That's never a thing we say.
Yeah.
So it just goes to show the choreography, the stage combat that they are doing is very good. And I like that she always wins. I mean, it gives me hope that if somebody attacks me, that I could be Frankie.
Okay. There you
So
go.
Linda doesn't think I can be Frankie.
I mean,
that was real quick. Linda was like on point. Like, oh, okay, got it.
I got the
Cool.
knife thrower who's MIA.
I'm gonna drink my drink now.
Take what you want from that. The knife thrower is MIA, and now this one over here is a fighter.
I listen.
I mean, and then this one is an undercover spy who
Like, can't remember faces.
is not an undercover spy. But we all have our special talents. Like last week we learned, right, with Frankie and Standish, we all have our special skills, and you know, those aren't them though. Just FYI.
All right.
So, after Columbia, we see that Will has decided that, hey, I'm going to go and meet my girlfriend in London. And he opens the door, and it's Ray and Susan with some bad news. And we find out that Emma was killed in Berlin, and the red gun was shocking to me because I was like, oh, wait, I know that gun. And we'll talk about that as we move forward in the episode. But what did you guys think of that? And did you feel sad for Will?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
I mean,
a
I'm not
little
Frankie. Of course I felt bad for him.
shocked. I'm not Frankie. That's funny.
But the way that they did that scene was so beautifully done with the red coat, and it like was almost in slow motion.
Yeah.
You know, and everything about it until it was happening, like I knew that something was wrong, but I wasn't sure. And then that stunning scene with the blood and the jacket, I just thought for television you don't see that sort of like art.
Yeah. It was a
art.
very beautifully done scene, unlike the rest of. Not that the show is just not that style of show.
not.
It's like an adrenaline, fun, fast-paced, type of show.
Yeah.
And that was a different take on it.
It
I was
was.
shocked. I was not expecting her to die.
I wasn't at all.
I was like, she's not finally back. She's dead. Is that it? I waited 3 weeks and you killed her in the first 5?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. A little disappointing.
It was a lot disappointing, and I was very shocked. I think I like grabbed onto because I was like, they're not really killing her with the red gun that we saw from last. Oh, okay, they are. Okay.
Yeah. And like you said, in the first 5 minutes, like it was so disappointing.
Yeah, because
know?
she's been gone for weeks.
Right.
I'm unattached to her. I've attached to her for 5 minutes, and now she's dead.
Yeah.
So why'd you even bring her back? Really? I mean, I get it, but why? Do you know what I mean? You hurt my feelings.
I almost thought that it was like a ruse, that she was down because she'd been shot at. But until I saw all the blood come out, I thought maybe it's like part of her spy gimmick
Got it.
or something. I thought that it wasn't going to end up being an actual.
But I knew it was
Death
something
scene.
because she was vulnerable when she was on the phone.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then they paused and she's like, I miss you. I was like, oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
You guys are reeling us in for something. I wasn't sure what. I didn't think she was going to be killed, though.
Not at all. Not at all.
So she gets killed, and we get the intro of Dark Will. And he's not really supposed to be a part of it. So what we do see is like, there's a big funeral, and then we kind of see an interaction between Standish and Jay. And just dealing with death, and we also see a situation with Ray and Susan. So let's talk about Standish and Jay first, and dealing with death.
Well, I mean, it's so classically male, right? That they can't open up with each other until later on. There's some like prompting by someone else to sort of like
A female, yeah.
Yeah, why don't you open up and talk about your feelings instead of like pretending everything's cool? But I don't know, it just brought their friendship to another level to this whole episode.
Yeah, I like that they were not bickering, because they've been bickering the whole way through.
Yeah.
And I love that they had that new handshake.
Yeah.
Which I think that we all should have a handshake.
That was
at some point.
awesome.
Yeah.
I totally agree. That was so fun to watch. And it was it was nice to see them in a different side together.
Yeah.
Because obviously we saw Jay have like bonding moments with Will,
Yeah.
you know, in the last episode, and how it's kind of forced upon. And this wasn't forced upon. It was like Jay really wanted to connect with Standish.
Yeah.
So I thought it was really fun to see them in a different light.
Yeah, I liked it. I like the non-bickering and the bonding, the male bonding, and the cute little geek handshake.
But we should get a handshake. That's a great
we're
idea.
totally gonna we'll have a handshake by next week.
We gotta tell Monica about it. We'll send her a
for
video.
sure.
Learn this.
Learn this handshake by next week, Monica. And then we saw Susan, who was filling in for Will because Will needed some time to heal. So her and Frankie go to Ray, and she wants the full Ray experience for the assignment that they're about to be on. Did you guys like that scene, and do you think it was funny?
Yes,
Yeah.
I love Ray. Anything Ray does, I'm gonna love it. Like, I don't know how. I mean, I'll say it again. I love Ray in all the scenes. So I was like giddy, like when he just everything about it. I can't.
I love how decisive Monse. I mean, yes, it's Ray.
It's Ray.
That's it.
Was he breathing in the scene? It was a good scene.
It was an amazing scene.
I mean, let us not forget that a few weeks ago, she threatened to murder someone if they didn't come clean about where they were going to be and with who.
Oh, yeah.
But with Ray, she'll forgive him.
I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good.
so
I'll
that's
forgive
where
Ray.
the line is.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly,
Josh
the
Hopkins
iHeart,
got it. Yeah.
all the way. Ray, whatever it is that you're doing, keep doing it.
You won me over. I'm your one and only fan, I think. But you got me.
I like him, but I'm just like, he's a little dense. Like, I think I would get sick of the, like,
Listen, I don't want to marry the guy. I just want to have some cocktails with him.
Oh, and there it is.
Yeah.
And speaking of cocktails and good times and fun, what about our network can you tell people?
Yes. Well, we wanted to take a quick minute to say thank you so much for tuning in every week and sharing your Wednesday nights with us, or Thursday mornings if you're listening in the car. We would not be able to do this without you. Thank you for helping make us the ESPN of TV talk. We love being here at AfterBuzz, and we couldn't do it without you. So if you are watching, give us that thumbs up on YouTube. Give us those comments. We are watching the live chat. Also, be sure to subscribe on Spotify and iTunes podcasts, because we're all across all of those as well, and we love hearing from you. So be sure to rate us, be sure to comment, and we'll get back to you as soon as you do.
Yeah, guys, don't be afraid to comment. We do not bite.
No.
Not on purpose, at least. Comment below in our YouTube or wherever you want to comment. Reach out to us. We like hearing from you.
Definitely.
So we have this assignment, and the assignment is they're going after Emma's killer and the Trust and Henry Griffin, and he's some big, deep cover operative. And we find out later that he has a relationship, or at least knows who Will is. So they go to Berlin, and the first guy that was their target was Nico. And Nico's gambling, and then this is the first time we're seeing Dark Will. What did you think of Dark Will, and how do you feel he handled that situation?
Well, I was not expecting him to stab him in the leg and then turn the knife. I mean, that's cold. So cold. And also, they usually do this whole shtick of, like, they have a backstory. They sort of snuggle up to the bad guy a little bit and then work information out. They just went straight to the point.
Yeah, he's like, I don't have time for that.
No, they did not mess around. And when they didn't get what they wanted, he just got stabbed in the leg. And honestly, it was refreshing to see Will. I mean, listen, I'm not advocating for leg stabbings, but like it was refreshing to see him out of character a bit, right?
I'm not against the leg stabbing. Y'all. I think about like if I were ever in a situation, I would never want to kill someone. I don't think I could do that even if I was enraged. Actually, if you touch my dog, I will kill you. But aside from my dog, let's be real. I don't know if I have, it takes something special in you to be able to like kill someone, but to cause torture and pain, I could do that. Especially stabbing you in the leg and turning it. That's easy. That's easy. Y'all, we were all taught how to torture someone on today's episode. I'm just saying. And I didn't think I was going to love Bad Will because in the preview, we know, last week's preview, I wasn't here, but in the preview, it tells you he's going to be like a Bad Will, whatever. But they didn't tell you why. And I thought I was going to have a hard time believing why he was Bad Will. And then the fact that it was because he lost a loved one or somebody he was into, I believed it. I was like, yes, this would make you Bad Will.
Well, also last week he was on a literal like doctor's table strapped in with like a dog collar and about to become like a human like organ farm.
Right.
While he was fully awake and not sedated, he's had a rough couple of weeks. I'm not surprised he snapped. I'm really not.
I liked Dark Will. Mm-hmm. I think that it balanced out the like cheerleader Will, frou-frou, everything's all great Will, which is, it's fine. Mm-hmm. But for a spy and for someone who's like an assassin and going after bad guys and international deep cover operatives, I think that this was more appropriate and this seemed like right. Mm-hmm. So this dude killed your girlfriend, and we already know that he has bad luck with women because his fiance cheated on him, and he went through that deep depression. So instead of going to depression, flipping it and being Bad Will, I was all for it.
Yeah. Well, imagine how much fun Scott Foley had playing that, too, because he always plays the
goody two-shoe.
Yes, because he just looks it. He just radiates sunshine. So for him to get to play this other character, I bet was just so much fun.
I mean, he dipped back into his Scandal days. Mm-hmm. Because at the end, Scandal, no spoiler because the show's over, so I hope I'm not spoiling it for everybody, but he turns bad in Scandal. So I'm sure he dipped back into that character that he had to be.
Yeah, we've got some Scandal news and gossip later, so hold on, guys. But yeah, I loved it. I love seeing that part of him, and I want to see a little bit more of it, actually. Maybe balance it out. Like, don't be way goody two-shoe and don't be the Frankie of the group, but be in between. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Bring it out when you need to, especially with the new big bad.
Yeah.
Which I'm happy about. Speaking of the new big bad, so Alex Ollerman is back as the big bad, and I have a couple of theories about it. But what did you think of him controlling that whole situation and being kind of like the behind-the-scenes guy is like pulling the strings of the puppet?
Well, I'm not as surprised this week as I was last week.
Okay.
Right? And it's fun. It's very fun. Like, he is this really evil, believable guy. He has this whole network of people working for him. Mm-hmm. He slipped away. I mean, they had him, and he slipped away. So I think for a big bad, he has pretty much all the qualities you want. The power, the goons, the knowledge, the intel, and he's threatening as hell. So it's great.
And the way he's acting it.
Yeah.
He kills it.
He does.
Like,
he does.
I love everything about it. Because he's not over the top, but he's like, okay, I'm going to be the subtle big bad, and I'm going to just knock it out the park. I love it. Everything about it. We talked a little bit about Standish and Jay's relationship. And how Tina kind of pulled them together, right? Tina, his love interest. And are you believing that more now? The love interest between Standish and Tina?
Sure. Sure.
Is that a sure?
I just, there's something.
Or sure.
Like, I'm believing it more, but I'm not. It's the thing I least believe in the story. Okay. It's not that I'm not like completely against it, but it is the thing I least believe.
Okay.
I find it weird. I mean, like, I don't know. Obviously, like, we know she dates in real life, you know, Will Chase or whatever.
Is married
Married.
too.
Or married.
With
Sorry.
children.
Dates, married, children. Okay, whatever. I mean, hopefully they still date. Hopefully they're still going on dates.
yeah, yeah,
not
that's
just
a great
married.
point.
You know, that
Yeah.
they're still dating. I hope that. I'm sure it's because of that. The fact that she constantly kisses him on the cheek throws me off. To me, it's very like, this should have been done 3 weeks ago, that you're still kissing him on the cheek. Clearly, here you are, and everyone knows you're a thing, and you still haven't kissed. And I find that a little weird. And it's probably because your husband is right there. Like, there's probably a reason behind it. But if they weren't together, those kisses wouldn't just be on the cheek. And I'm not asking you to make out, but I find that very like, you're cute. Let me kiss you on the cheek.
No, it's 100% on purpose because of the story. Now, I don't want to jump, but we can put a bookmark on this and come back later, but this is very purposeful. The fact that it feels sort of forced.
You think, okay.
Yes, we'll talk about it later. We'll revisit this
Okay.
when we talk about the end of
I mean,
the
we're
episode.
almost there.
Yeah,
but
we're
yes.
almost there. Okay, so, I can't wait to hear about this theory. So, we see that they're going to go after this big bad now, and we know that who's pulling the strings. So, we have the big fight scene. And what I thought was interesting about the big fight scene was there's always one in the episode, and it's always really, really good. Did you think the fight scene between Will and Griffin was a good fight scene?
The one with
episode?
the cargos, like where they're like
Yeah.
running around. It was fine. I don't think it was one of the best fight scenes we've had this season.
Okay.
But it wasn't bad. You know, it was good. It was entertaining. It just wasn't as high intensity because you know they're hiding and they're
Yeah.
going around, so it's like a different type of fight.
Yeah.
I guess. But I enjoyed it. It's just, to me, it wasn't the best one. You know what I mean? Like there have been other more exciting ones, longer ones, you know, all that stuff. So, but it was good. It was good.
I think what I liked about it was that Susan was the one that saved the day this time.
100%.
Versus Frankie.
Yeah.
And I thought it was interesting that Frankie wasn't seeing that he was going for a gun.
Yeah.
She's like, we're taking you in.
Yeah.
And it was Susan that was more alert in the moment because Susan's not usually in the field. But then I realized, okay, they want her to make her like the one. But I was like, I don't know.
You didn't believe that.
Well, if Frankie's the assassin and
Yeah.
the bad one, she would always be on it.
Yeah, but maybe this whole episode of Will being so bad
Yeah.
made her have to take a step back from
And
being
not be
so
so
bad.
bad, yeah.
Maybe that's what it was. But
Yeah.
I like that I like that she wasn't the one that was not on top of her game.
Yeah.
It was a nice little change.
Yeah.
You know?
And everyone's had a chance pretty much at this point to be the hero.
Yeah.
Right? Susan needed that opportunity to be the hero. She was in a very vulnerable position a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Are you laughing about vulnerable position?
Yeah, I'm just laughing because, you know, have we talked about Susan and Ray?
No, we haven't. We're going to talk about them next.
Yeah, like that's why I laughed because you said vulnerable. I was like, well, yeah, girls, you know, knocking boots over here.
So let's talk about them. What are we thinking of Susan and Ray and their relationship?
I kind of said this earlier on.
You did.
I mean,
did.
first I said Emma because
You
of
did.
how the
No,
chemistry.
you called it.
But then I said Susan.
Yeah.
I was like, this would, you know.
Yeah.
So I was all about it. Like, I think it's great. I think she needs that, like the fun in her life.
Yeah.
Because I can't imagine being an FBI profiler
Yeah.
for so many years. Like, I like it. She needs that
Yeah.
fun in her life.
Plus, it's Ray.
And I love Ray.
No, it's Ray.
I love Ray. You want to grab a cocktail? You let me know.
I think also, though, it's really good for her because in addition to the fun, she's a very structured person.
Yeah.
You know, she's an FBI profiler. She's very smart.
Yeah.
She's constantly analyzing. And this is downright reckless for
Right.
the health and like vibe of the family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This really throws a wrench in it. And I think for her, it's good. It just makes her loosen up.
You know, I didn't think about what you just said, how like she's obviously like thought this through 100 million ways.
For
And
sure.
she still decided to do it.
Oh, because sometimes I think that the person that you least expect excites you.
Yeah.
And then when you find out, like, ooh, we connect,
Yeah.
and they obviously connect, it's hard to rationalize that, right?
is.
And so she's not going to be able to rationalize Ray because as a profile, I'm sure she's like, okay, you're this, this, and this, and this. But Ray is like an anomaly. You know, he's dense, but he's smart. He's a trained FBI agent, but then he's also like a jerk as a friend.
Yeah.
So he's all of these things, but I think it's going to be great, and I love seeing them together. I do, however, wonder how it's going to affect the relationship she has with Will because they're best friends, and she hasn't said anything, and we know what happens when you don't tell your bestie things right away.
Right. And he said it in this episode. He's like, I'm really glad we tell each other everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Painful. I think all of us looked like,
When he said that, we
Yeah.
were like, no.
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, let's not mess up this relationship, please. But, we know it's coming. Guys, what did we think of the overall ending? So we know that Griffin gets killed, and we know that Alex is still out there, and they're going to be chasing him forever. But what do we think of the overall ending of this?
Well, the shot, okay, no pun intended, but the shot of the gun, right, on the bar, like the closeout ending, unfreaking believable.
Yeah, that was great. Linda's she's lost for words.
I caught the gun in the beginning.
You did.
And I was like, is that the... Oh, yeah, it's the gun.
You did.
And then I remember us discussing Emma? No. What's the girlfriend's name?
Yeah.
Tina.
Oh, you want to
I
take
knew
that bookmark out?
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
I mean...
Okay.
I said that she might be the big bad.
Yeah.
I said it from the beginning.
Yeah.
And I said the whole thing. So I was actually a little shocked that my prediction was right.
Yeah.
And I was actually disappointed because I'm starting to like her.
Well, that's all part of their plan.
You know?
It is.
And
that is why the lack of chemistry is on purpose. We were not supposed to buy the relationship between Tina and Standish,
because...
but because he wouldn't fall for someone who was so blatantly evil. We couldn't actually get on board with her.
Okay.
Because then this twist would be like so devastating. Hold on, I can see it. But listen, she had to be part of that circle. She had to target someone in that group.
like the weakest link?
The weakest link. Jay wasn't a possibility. Jay would not open up. Okay, go.
No. I'm listening to everything you're saying.
Okay,
Go.
Standish needs that affection and that reassurance.
Yeah.
She was willing to go along with all of his bizarre, nervous behavior.
Yeah.
Right? And it was all to get to this point where she's a trusted part of the family so that she can enact her evil plan.
Okay.
We weren't supposed to like them together. It all makes sense now why it didn't fit.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know if I believe that. I don't know. I might say this is bad writing, bad editing, bad choices. I don't know if they wanted us to feel that. Maybe you're right. Maybe you are right. I just am not necessarily agreeing. I'm not saying it's completely out of context what you're saying. That makes perfect sense. But like, I don't know. I want to believe that it was just more like this is the way they chose to show it, and it happened to work out in their favor.
Maybe.
Yeah,
I think we'll know more next week.
I think we
Yeah.
will know more next week. And listen, this whole big bad creation is going to be interesting to see what part she plays in the whole scheme of things. But moving on, let's do our special Mixing It Up segment. And definitely we're going to do it in... I was going to say something that just doesn't even make sense. We're doing it for you, Monica.
Girl. Yes.
So mixing it up.
So mixing it up, as you know, we do a different whiskey cocktail every week for a different character. And I know we've already done Will
Right.
this season, but we have to revisit because this week's Will was a very different Will.
Yes.
So we are doing a whiskey mule, which is like a regular Moscow mule, but with whiskey. So it's some ginger beer, some whiskey, and it's a little bit of an edgier twist on an old classic. So cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers to the edge.
Yeah, we like the edge. We'll keep a little bit of it.
We do.
Love it. Let's move on to some news and gossip.
Awesome.
News and gossip.
TV News.
EP Bill Lawrence tweeted today that he definitely thinks that there's a very high chance of a season 2. So I think if he's saying it, we can feel pretty confident about it.
All right, so I'm going to jump in on that. So I hope that that's true. And from the upfronts last year, this was like the darling show. Everyone loved it. Even at Comic-Con, this was the show everyone was talking about. However, the critics are talking about this show and the ratings, and apparently the ratings are going low, 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 low. So ABC has their upfronts in the next couple of weeks, I think May 15th. So we'll find out by the 15th if our show gets renewed. So you guys, fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
That they give this show the opportunity it needs and the legs it needs to flourish.
You know why I think it's not necessarily succeeding as much as they thought? I think their time slot is too late.
Everyone keeps saying that
10
too.
p.m. is more like a Walking Dead show. How to Get Away with Murder, where it's like a little darker.
Yeah.
This is like a fun
Comedy.
and comedy, dramedy with a lot of action. You know, kids, like families can sit together and watch this, you know? So I think their time slot is killing them. I hope ABC kind of realizes that, that they can bump it up to an 8 o'clock show and get the audience that they want. It's Wednesday at 10 p.m. Listen, even when I was in high school, my mom at 10 was like, "You better be in bed,
Right.
TV off." I mean, I'd be on my phone, but
I agree
like,
with you.
I think the time slot is not helping them.
So ABC renew it and then
Yes.
just switch up the time slot.
Yep.
Okay, so I want to talk about my favorite. Okay, you might love Ray. I love Standish. So Tyler James Williams, we know my thoughts and feelings about that date outfit where he channeled his inner Migos, right? Well, this week, he tweeted that last week's Move Bitch, Get Out the Way line.
Yeah.
That was like a fan favorite. That was actually his idea. So
Love
I
it.
actually vote him most valuable actor on the set because he's really adding a lot of, he's adding a lot of my favorite moments to this
Love
show.
it.
So,
I love that.
Also, another fan favorite this week was that handshake.
So good.
Yes. So
Was that his idea too?
so Vera and Tyler do that on set, and so they had to write it in. I know, it kills me. I'm
cute.
We
melting.
need a handshake. We gotta work it out by next week.
We do.
We need a
Totally do.
handshake.
And also that closing bar scene where they're all hanging out. I don't know if you caught this, but in the background there's a song playing in German, and that was sort of an ode to the fact that they were in Berlin earlier in the episode. But that's Heroes, sung by David Bowie.
Very cool.
Fun little Easter egg.
I love that.
Yeah. I know we have some pictures.
Yes, guys, we have some pictures. So, Whiskey Cavalier posted a beautiful photo of Scott Foley, and that's exactly what the caption says. It says, Scott Foley, that's it. That's the post.
That's all you need.
That's it.
That is all you need.
And then Tyler James posted a photo of them at the bar, and it says, looking at the rest of the week, knowing you barely made it through the first half, trust me, I know.
I feel
Thankfully, Whiskey Wednesday is here to give you a good laugh to get you through the rest of the week. Real talk.
I feel that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've been sick all week, and so I'm just like, oh, God. So, yes, Whiskey, you always make me happy. Guys, you would think
Yeah,
that...
let's talk about this photo.
Yeah.
Okay, so you would think that I pulled this photo because of the six-pack abs.
Is this not
the
why?
the wave cap, all that. No, it's not why. I posted it because, so what I learned from this post is that Tyler suffers from colitis. So 3 weeks ago, I had my first flare-up in almost 2 years. This was particularly bad. It's crazy how a pain I hadn't felt in a long time, I immediately remembered. I quickly identified it and then ran through all the emotions. Craziest thing is that moment was the fear. Not the pain, but what comes after. I was in the hospital for 5 days and wasn't allowed to eat for 5 days as my insides calmed down. He goes on to say that he lost 10 pounds in 5 days.
Wow.
But he is feeling a lot better, and he goes on to talk about just what it is to live with that and how to deal with it.
Yeah.
And he tags them. So
Well, I'm glad he's feeling better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he looks great.
We're thinking of you, Tyler.
yes, I'm glad you're feeling better. Guys, so as whiskey drinkers now, and I've personally gone to some Macallan tastings, but I hadn't heard about this. So this is Macallan 72, and a shot of this, not the bottle, a shot goes for $12,000.
Oh my god.
No, pero qué?
So how does $12,000 a shot sound? That's how much the Montage Beverly Hills here in Los Angeles charges for the Macallan 72-year-old, one of the world's oldest whiskeys known in existence. And yes, they sell well at the Montage in Beverly Hills.
Okay, well, that's where we have
So-
to go to celebrate.
So $12,000,
Right?
not for the bottle, ladies, for a shot.
Can you imagine being the bartender and trying not to like spill it?
Can you imagine being the bartender and not tasting it? Like, hello.
The official price for the bottle, though, is $65,000.
There you go.
Gosh.
Are you... What?
So it's better to buy in bulk, is what you're saying.
¿Pero qué? ¿Pero qué? Es que no entiendo. ¿Cómo que $12,000? What?
You sound like my mom.
I'm
All of a sudden, when she doesn't understand something, it's Guinean 100.
Pero qué?
What?
What? I can't. I don't know.
$65,000.
No, I'm more shocked to the shot. Who pays for that?
How about you're at the bar and you're like,
I'll
okay,
round the
I'm
shots.
going to get a shot. I guess I'm going to get you. Oh. And you, I guess, what am I at, $36,000? And you know that's not my first drink, so...
You're not gonna shoot a drink like that, which means you have to like sip it. So like per sip, it's like $300 a sip.
I'm going to tell you this right now. We're probably sipping that for the year.
I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna put it in a water bottle.
Yeah, right.
And I taste it every day.
Right.
True.
For 365
That's
days.
right.
Yeah.
That's it. Just a little like tip
no.
on my finger. Oh yeah, that was good. What
Yeah.
was that, like $500? Let me do that again. Oh, that was like 1,000. Yeah.
No.
I want to
Okay.
say a quick shout out because we have a bunch of people chatting in the chat right now.
Yeah.
Quick shout out to ER's grandpa. Welcome back. Also,
Hi.
Sue and Smith. Nice to have you back as well. And Dylan Jefferson. Dylan says that he was disappointed that it wasn't Emma, that it ended up being Tina. But I just wanted to say a quick shout out to them.
They
Thanks for
could have
being with
made
us tonight.
Emma the big bad, but it's all good. Guys, our last photo, we have Will and Frankie, and then on the left, and then on the right, we have Olivia, and then Scott's character
Is
something on Scandal. But
I'll get it in
so
2
his
secs.
two big love interests on the shows that he's done, and he was asked in a recent interview, if you had to choose one, who would you choose, and who do you guys think he chose?
I mean, I would assume that he would pick Olivia.
Yeah, based on that picture alone.
And based on the fact that like they had a relationship for so long. No, his name was Jake Ballard. Jake Ballard. I would assume it was gonna bother me. I would assume he'd pick Olivia. Just I don't know.
You guys are right.
yeah.
Okay.
So he said, if I had to choose one, I think you have to choose Olivia Pope.
Yeah.
Foley said, and I know that's not what I'm supposed to say when I'm talking about with Cavalier, so forgive me. The reason I say that is, although as emotionally closed off as Frankie is, Olivia is used to working with people, probably a better team player. So in that regard, there's more promise in that relationship.
Which makes sense.
Which totally makes sense.
100%.
Guys, I want to do our last segment, Heat versus Heart. And you guys ready?
Yeah.
Born ready.
Okay. First question. Would you lie to make your partner happy? And where do you draw the line? Quick.
Yes.
Okay.
Line is anything that would hurt their feelings if they knew the truth. So like a little white lie, I don't think it's a big deal.
Yeah, as long as it's not like I'm gonna tell him, he looks good in a shirt that he really likes, even though he might not. But as long as the lie doesn't lead to the fact that I'm doing something he doesn't know about.
Got it.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like I wouldn't lie about what I'm doing and be sneaky. I would lie about other things to make him feel better.
What is a relationship deal breaker for you?
Smoking cigarettes.
Oh, interesting. Drug addiction.
Okay. Last question. Monse, we're going to keep this concise.
Okay.
And to the point.
Got it.
What do you consider cheating?
Oh.
We made it almost all the way through.
I honestly like you can flirt and I would be okay.
Okay.
Flirting to me, because I think I'm a flirt. I owe like 7 people relationships that I don't even know about.
Okay.
I'm a flirt. I like to talk to people, so I don't consider that cheating, even if it's like through in person or even if I saw like a text. But if there was something more like a meet where you meet behind my back, that's not okay.
Your significant other, and what do you think? Because I'm going to elaborate on
Emotional
that.
investment as well. So like all of that, but also if you're like going to them for emotional support and not me, I would be very upset about that.
Okay,
That's a lie.
part 2. So your significant other sees an Instagram model in real life at some event in Los Angeles and follows her, and then because they have now met in real life, sends her DM like, hey, I'm your biggest fan, and yada, yada, yada. Is that cheating?
I don't think so. No.
Okay, good.
Okay, but I also forgot for a minute that Instagram follows. I was like, where's he following her? Like, where's he going? I felt like physically following. I'm like, I'm
On
not dating
Instagram?
a stalker. Okay, got it. We're
On
clear.
Instagram?
No, it's not cheating.
No.
All right.
No.
We're going to elaborate. I have a part 3 to that, but we will find out what these ladies think next week. Let's do some fun predictions real quick. Predictions for next week.
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
The situation with Tina is going to come to a head, and I think Susan and Ray are going to be found out because they can't obviously keep it a secret.
Yeah, I think definitely Susan and Ray is going to come out, but I actually disagree with you. I think Will is going to be surprisingly okay with it because he trusts Susan more than anybody else. So he's going to trust her judgment in the sense that's what I think. I mean, call me crazy in here, but this is what I think is going to happen. I think Tina is going to turn again. So like it's gonna come out that she's evil, right? And that she's with Allerman, like they're all in the same thing. And then at the end, she's gonna turn on Allerman.
Oh.
She might not survive, but she's going to turn on Allerman at the end because she likes the group and Standish so much.
Yeah, I like that. So I'm going to stick with that and say that that's true. However, if we find out that the show gets canceled, I think that they're going to make Standish be the one that kills and finds out that Tina was a traitor. And he's the one that's going to have to like do or die. It's either your love or it's your team. And it's going to be the team, obviously. That's only if the show doesn't get picked up again. If it gets picked up, then I can see her being, the twisted.
But I don't think she'll survive. Even if she turns good, I think it's like we won't see her in season 2.
I feel like they're in Prague, dude. They're she's like, you have my whole family here. I'm working to make some money. That's it. Guys, thank you so much for watching again. We were running out of time, but we made it through with no craziness. Can you believe
Almost
it?
no.
Guys, I'm Linda Antwi. You can follow me all across social media at Linda So Girly.
I'm Janine Doyon, and you can follow me at Janine Doyon.
You can follow me across social media at Monse Bolanos.
Till next week, guys. Bye.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.